I remember going for a walk with my best friend in 2013. No, actually 2010. This was my first year in university, taking my undergraduate in Aerospace Engineering. I knew at that point that two things were certain. My engineering degree was my backup plan, not my main plan. And the second thing I knew for sure was that I would love to have my own businesses. Soon after that, I started my first business where I was selling beauty and skincare products to women. And I was also doing mobile hairdressing. All I was self-taught at the time. I was an undergraduate that was partying 4 times a week, playing different sports, and still turning up to 35 hours of lecture, and then finding time to sell beauty and skincare products as well as doing women's hair. Soon after that, in 2013, I was towards writing my final exams for my undergrad in Aerospace Engineering, and an opportunity came along. I walked into this building. People from Swansea might know the building. It's an old building that survived the World War bombings. As you see it from outside, you almost walk past it, you almost miss it. But when you see it, when you do see the building, it's absolutely gorgeous. It survived the World War without any bombing or anything. And initially it was the old post office, and then above it was the telephone exchange. After they redeveloped this street, they decided to make it into a cafe. And I walked in and I thought, I've been in Swansea for 4 years. How have I never seen this place? And I found out that it was a failing business. And I thought, don't do it. You're in the middle of your exams. Concentrate on your exams. Don't think about it. And I thought, okay, fine, it's a crazy idea. It's too crazy for me to do right now. So anyway, I carried on. I wrote my exams. Coming out of my final exam, I went back to the library. Everyone else was like, we're celebrating, we're going out. I went back to the library. I started writing my business plan. I started doing my market research. I went through my 3 years of university without ever drinking a coffee, and I wanted to open a cafe. Yeah, so I then went on to visit. I wrote my first summary of the business plan. I submitted it to the landlord. At this point, the business had actually closed down. I submitted my business plan, and they said, listen, there's 3 other people that want this place. And I thought, I'm not going down without a fight. I went on to the bank. I walked in. I thought I was ready, I thought I could have got that business loan. And I remember my business manager looking at me the bank manager looking at me and saying, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you look like you're a makeup artist. Your CV says you got an aerospace engineering degree. How do you mean you're going to be opening a cafe? This doesn't quite make sense. And I was like, I believe I can do it. And he said, I'm sorry, but we can't help you. However, we want to recommend you to the business advisors. So I went on then and met with the business advisors that are being funded by the Welsh government. The Welsh government is paying these people to give time to people that want to start their own businesses to try to generate money back into the society, which is absolutely amazing. Without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I went on, I was meeting with this woman every other day. And in my spare time, because remember, I've just come from graduating, I didn't apply for a job, so I don't have a job. I'm trying to make money from my beauty business, but at the same time, I know I need to focus on this thing because I want to open this business. I am serious about this business, and there's 3 other people that want this place. If it's not this building, it won't be this business. I will not do it. I was in love with this building. I went on then to every night I was going out, socializing with people, trying to tell them about my plan, networking. The power of networking is absolutely remarkable. Again, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the people that have helped me to get to where I am. The people that I met through when I was studying, or the people that I met through socializing and networking. And then in the mornings at 8 a.m., I'll be outside the building counting people. How many people are walking past the street? Whom are they? Do they work around here, or are they in a rush? To make it realistic. I went back to my bank, and they said, listen, if the Welsh government approve your business loan, we will match the best rate that they give you. And I thought, happy days. I'm gonna nail that business loan. But the reality is, this was in August. It came to November, and I wanted to open my business, but the graduate bursary was not approved yet. In fact, it didn't get approved until the February after opening the business in November. It didn't stop me. It was just it was a pause. It was a hump. It was a hiccup. I carried on knocking doors while he's trying to raise more money, asking from family. And then I had to make an important phone call. I had to call my mother to tell her two things. First of all, I'm moving out. And secondly, I'm opening a cafe. And my mother says, oh, don't worry, we'll speak about it when you come home for summer. She puts the phone very quickly on the, and I'm like, I didn't finish speaking. So anyway, I had to go home for a week to explain to my mother that I'm 24 years old. It's time I go out and I fly away and I try my own thing. And at the same time, I broke my mother's heart because I had studied a degree that no one else in my family had managed to achieve. How many people go away to university and study aerospace engineering? And my mother had researched. She knew what opportunities laid ahead of me. She knew what countries I could go and work for. She knew all the companies that I could work for. But I explained to her that you need to understand two things. University was my backup plan. It wasn't the main plan. And the second thing is, I need to try. If I don't try now, I will never know. I have no attachment, I've got nothing to do. All I can do is try. I've got nothing to lose. If it doesn't work, I'll try something else. If it doesn't work, I'll go work for BA Systems. I'll go work for Augusta Westlands. I'll go travel to Dubai or wherever. But first of all, I have to try. The Sunday before opening, we were scheduled to open on a Thursday. The Sunday before opening, I went to sleep. I woke up the Monday, I had a very busy Monday. I had to meet up with suppliers. I'd be given the keys from the property at that point. I had to meet up with suppliers. I had to meet up with suppliers. I had to get staff trained for the work that was coming along for the rest of the week. Monday went well. Tuesday went well. Wednesday, I had the food hygiene people coming in to see us. If you're opening a food business, you need to have approval from food hygiene. And everything that could go wrong that Wednesday went wrong. My car broke down. I needed my car to go and collect food from the wholesalers. The hot water stopped working. You can't run a restaurant without hot water. The cooker stopped working. And I was like, anything else? The men's urinal stopped working. And finally, I had never made a coffee in my life. So I went on to switch a coffee machine, and I thought it was broken. So I called in the engineer, and I was like, you need to come over now. The coffee machine is not working. We need to open the restaurant tomorrow. The guy came in. He switched it on. This is how you switch it on. I'm very grateful. He then asks me a very important question. Do you have coffee bean? I don't have coffee bean. You don't have coffee bean? I haven't found the one I like. I am very particular. I don't use the word fussy because I think it's negative. So I use the word particular. I'm very particular. I've tried different coffee beans, but I haven't found the one. If we're going to be the cafe, the only cafe on Wine Street, we have to supply the best coffee. but I haven't found the best coffee. And he says to me, don't worry, I'm going to give you this bag of coffee bean, and I'm going to call up the customers that we use. This woman walks in. I remember her very clearly. She walks in with a box of coffee. I loved her confidence, as if she knew I was going to buy her coffee bean, as if she knew that was the coffee bean. She walks in, and I was sat down, and she says, can I make you a coffee? And I was like, how do you know I haven't slept for 3 days? She makes me a flat white. I don't know whether it's because I hadn't slept since the Sunday before, or whether it was because I was very desperate to have a coffee bean for the next day, or whether because it was just a very good coffee bean. But that was the best flat white I have ever tried in my life. I say to her, this is the one. And she said, what? And I said, this is the coffee bean. That's the one I've been waiting for. And she says, okay, this is the invoice. We only take cash. And I was like, okay. I remember counting up 90 pounds and then counting up the rest in coins. Because remember, my graduate bursary had not come through. So all the money I was using was pocket money, money that I'd asked from friends, personal loans that I had taken, and credit cards. So cash was tight. I had to use whatever I can. But I didn't tell anyone I didn't have money, because I knew if I was to tell people, anyone would feel sorry for me. I'm human. If someone was to tell me I'm opening a business but I don't have money, I would feel sorry for them. I would ask them the question, how are you going to do it? But that question would not help me at that time. That question would make it difficult for me to carry on, because that little moment of sympathy, that moment a person would feel sorry for me, I would feel sorry for myself. I would slow down. I would then think, oh, but I haven't slept for 3 days. They're right. There's no way I can open tomorrow. I have no money. There's no way I can open tomorrow. I've never made a coffee in my life. So the woman, just before she walks out, she asks me, is there anything else I can do? And I was like, there is one more thing. And she said, what is it? And I said, we've never made coffee. She doesn't say anything, because she's probably thinking, wow. So she then starts training us on coffee. I had knowledge about making coffee. All the knowledge I had about making coffee was from YouTube. I had researched about how to make lattes. I had researched about how to make an Americano. I had researched about how to make a cappuccino. If you had asked me about the theory, I would have passed that exam. But I had never made an actual coffee. We did a couple of hours of training. I'm very grateful for my analytical background. I'm very good at catching things very quickly. So I learned very quickly how to make all the coffees that were very important, the basic coffees. And the next day, I remember we were scheduled to open doors. And the girl that was working for me at the time, she walked up to me and she said, Tina, are you sure we're going to open tomorrow? And I said, Sharon, come rain, come thunder, tomorrow we open. We've told people we're going to open tomorrow. And I didn't tell her this, but I knew I have signed a lease. If I don't open the doors, I don't have money to pay for the next rent when it comes in. I need to pay my staff salary. So I need to open doors. I remember calling up my brother and I said, listen, you need to get to Swansea as soon as you can. We are not finished yet. I think we're going to be pulling an all-nighter. My brother, bless him, he gets down onto the motorway and he hits the road and he gets to Swansea. He had to be in work at 7 a.m. the next morning, but he did not complain. He was there for me when I needed him. And he just says, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? People that I was calling, my friends, I owe my business success to all my friends that have helped me up until now, because they were there for me. They helped me. They came in when I needed them. And I know for sure that the next day we went on to open the restaurant. And when I opened doors, I opened only slightly, because I was so scared that people would know that I've never done this before, that people would know that I've never made a coffee before. But I'm grateful today that with less than a month, we're going to be celebrating 3 years of trading, because I had a dream and I persevered with it and I said, we can do it. and I've taken as much help from people along the way. And my name keeps reminding me, which means thank you very much for listening tonight. Diolch yn fawr for the Welsh, or Tino Tenda for the Shona. Thank you.